There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to sell. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The project is giving us here and the promise of them. So welcome my life with African.
I lyrical health.
Master.
Clay Paris, who make on you, I can't Sktv-Lib. Say my journey, Tina get I say my yamo. And yes, I know money, and more I know. And you love
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmaster.
And I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I didn't ya to money, and I said ya to money, and I couldn't play ya to money, and I could do ya to money, and I forget now ya to money. That's the TV, and I forget it now. Toss you work on my ya to money. Yeah.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Must hold by the lofa and grandmaster.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to sell. The blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The broadcast we giving are real and the promise from best. The world with my life with us, yeah. From Grandfather, Nima to Lufa. From Riverside, River G to G. From Grand Crew, Bombing, Kidman, Montserrat, San to Backbaloo. From Maryland, Bon County to Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.
Interesting. Yes, indeed. So, folks, I just tease. All when you saw down, I just tease to all of you. Good evening. Welcome to the SKTV show. Please share the show. Today going to be like Steve can say it'll be nice. It'll be juicy. Let me know, but it'll be juicy. Monk, hurry up. Steve, hurry up. Say who hurry up a couple. Look, today will be juicy. Just like when you live long. I don't wonder what this boy. You don't pray for what? They don't pray for any material things. They pray for long life. Hmm? So always pray to God for you to live long. Because when you live long, you will see so many things before there's sometimes you'll be telling your grandchildren, your children about some of these stories. Say, see this thing, you know what is happening. By the way, folks, good evening. Welcome to the SKTV show. Show. Today is Monday. Allow it to be the 9th of December, the 12th month, and the year remains the same, 2024. We go 9 days now in the last month of the year 2024. Please share the show, share, like, and comment. You go to the own. Yes, it will be hard. It will be hard. Indeed, look, let's control it. Indeed, interesting. Oh man, I enjoy the video more. Why you don't want me to pray this? Okay, what I'm not send a link. Send also to Chemiyato. Send a link. Send a link to all of them. Send a video. Look, you want to see group out. Let them come. Let us like you. Well, folks, so many things happening. Thank God now that we are living in time or an era where any little thing we do, you know. So now the internet now is our what? Our whisper. Right? So sometimes anything we do get smartphone. Get smartphone. Even if you don't have data at that moment, sometimes you report things after you have maybe access to internet, then you can post it or you share it with someone who have internet. Hmm? That's the way. Now what we see now when 1990, 1980, all the year 2000, even during the time of video putting the time, you not see it's we not see all this, right? Even to what time? To Manasari, even though when they battle, because every school, even though when I have a smartphone, but then internet was not really like that. Everybody was blind leading the blind. I will live it. I will live it. Blind leading the blind by them. So they will soon be joining us. Don't worry. No, just tell the show that's a lot of work to do now. And just be here. We get 2 hours to go. So at this time, nothing like that because we now have the internet. At this time, by that time now, we start to experience phone, I get access to phone, but internet was not widely used, as it is. So, you know, things happen. Maybe people call me happy. We watching of them. But today, the first government not a year. Today, let me go back to this is the people of the other office. How the other office will do? You will off the light, put the light on, off the light, with somebody. Where is this? We will get to all of you, and then we will ask you questions. Good, thank you, my brother. Yes. So we're going to play this video so that you can watch it maybe for the second or third time. For those of you who are watching this video, and maybe you have watched it maybe over and over. Well. Sorry, I don't know how they sound like, but Mark, let me say good evening and welcome to, welcome again. It's good to be back. Today is Monday. Welcome, my brother. How
Yep.
everything with you?
Man, I'm doing great. Thank God to be alive. I'm not supposed to be here, but with the kind of the events that transpiring back home, I couldn't miss today. I got to do everything possible to create room. And matter of fact, I don't know if Siku or Steve was showing up, so I ran forwarded the link to Chairman Yato because he requested earlier. I said once I get it, the green light from Melbourne, and then I'm going to forward it to you. So I'm here, and thanks again to be here for the rest of the listening audience. We are here to do business as usual.
Yeah, so I have to take the video down because if you listen, there are so many insults and so forth going on. We don't want to.
Sure, another one. I mean, another one that I sent you coming from Dixon
Yes.
Sibo, who's supposed to be the chair on the Ways and Means on the minority block, but something he said, but just play. I think it's less than 3 minutes while we are setting
We
up,
get it.
so our audience get to know exactly what's happening in the country.
Yeah, so go ahead, Mark. What's some of that happening? What going on? In fact, I saw a lot of celebration in Syria, though.
Oh yeah, it's a cause to celebrate. I mean, after 50 years of a dynasty between the father and the son, the only thing I would fear is if they can consolidate power and maintain calm. And you know, Syria is one of the countries in the Middle East with a huge stock of chemical weapons. And you don't want those weapons falling into the wrong hands. I guess that's the fear from people in the West, from America, NATO, and other countries around the world. Even though Russia and Iran were the biggest loser or the biggest victims, but at the end of the day, we just want the protection of the lives and property, and that's it. You don't want chemical weapons falling into the hands of rebels, and it could be devastating. So we only hope for the best. At this stage, you can only hope there's nothing you can do. You can only hope that they maintain peace and consolidate power and protect innocent lives and property. That's the first thing I look for anytime there's an international crisis. The rest, I could care less about the politics.
Wonderful. So the video is set. If you're ready, I can now play the video for our people and also for us on the show.
Yeah, I'm
Mark?
good. You can go ahead. You can roll it out. My man, you're the one in control. I'm the co-pilot, so
because of the arrangement that's happening. Now we are having, we are playing fun here. We are having serious crisis in the country. Today, if anyone from the international community wants to address the House, they will address the House to the Speaker. However, ministers of the President are appearing before a group to discuss the national cake that should be discussed based on the law. Then you are here, you're asking questions. I'm saying we are going to get to the point where we ask for an interim arrangement. The entire country, the entire government. If there is no law and order, if the judiciary will speak and will not respect the judiciary, there's no need for judiciary. If the executive will decide to disregard the judiciary, there's no need. So I'm saying to you, we'll be calling shortly for an interim arrangement.
You didn't have the quorum there. How will you call for interim arrangement?
So there'll be chaotic. This is going to get hello, quote me. This is going to get more fiery tomorrow. Are you sure? No, I just spoken English. I come from Nukuta. I don't mix my words. This is going to get more fiery tomorrow. It's going to get even worse on Wednesday and on Thursday. The Labrador got to give me a break. You are sweating now as journalists. You should be sitting now in session, or you should be sitting now in the budget hearing process. Are you sitting there? No. Is this normal? Other police are there. The fact that it is not normal.
Other police are there.
Guys,
that's not a problem.
Unless you want to be sarcastic and provocative, I'm going to cut the interview. If you want the librarian to know what is going on here, ask serious questions. I'm telling you.
One of the serious question is you don't normally reach forum and you talk about calling for.
Do you know the Constitution? You have to tell. The last time I checked, you don't know. No, that's the way forward. You are going stupid now, so you can come here. Go on. This is a serious issue we're talking about. Hello. The budget is now being discussed. It's the same kangaroo process. This is a democracy. There are processes that will be next. You will see what will be next.
We see when the speaker mentioned transition in his post there.
Speak to the speaker on that matter. Speak to the speaker on that matter.
Can you
speak to the speaker on that matter?
Where is that the speaker right now?
You can ask him his number. I can give you his number.
Why can you tell us?
I just told you know his number. The speaker is running business of the state. He has a couple of meetings ongoing.
From where is he running the state?
from your father's house. So there are people who can be respectful when you are a journalist and you're not respectful. Then you will see. Ask a question, you can make it. When they stay from your father's house. You said that when they stay from your father's house. So guys,
We have taken.
yeah, because you show your full of out to get bring for the
So that's what happening to. This is happening to Sylvester here. This is happening to Sylvester Trooper or Small FM. This is happening to Sylvester Trooper. Sylvester.
He says it's going to get fiery and chaotic, and he's calling for an interim government or administration. When we get to the serious part, like we keep saying on the show, we will get to know what put water in coconut, like we keep saying.
So yeah, we have the speaker. Also, the speaker, I think he have some brief interaction with with journalists or with media team. So let me see. I don't know what I have the video here. So let's play this. Then we'll move on now with the show and start. But these are happening back home to all of our people who are watching and also listening to us. These are happening back home since this morning. I think around 9 o'clock or between 9:30 this morning. All of this is started, and yes, it's still on. We don't know as to what time it's going to end. But again, let me play this video quickly coming from the speaker end. Then we start the show this evening.
You are the Speaker of the Honorable House of Representatives. Over the weekend, the Supreme Court ruled recognizing your speakership. What do you make of the whole battle since that morning?
Well, I think there's a conscious effort to ignore the Supreme Court and defy the Supreme Court ruling. The disappointing part is we see members of the executive and we see the police brutalizing lawmakers, which is an indication that the so-called absentee lawmakers are getting aid and comfort from the executive branch in this treasonous plot. It is very unfortunate. It is not the right thing for our democracy. We call on all sides to step back, obey the rule of law, obey the precepts of the Supreme Court, who is the neutral arbiter. Now, there have been attempts to nuance the decision of the Supreme Court. Let me say this as a well-trained lawyer. The Supreme Court said a sitting of the plenary of the House of Representatives is composed of the simple majority, as in Article 33, and the Speaker, as in Article 49. And the Supreme Court went on to say, any sitting or action that emanates from there, not in conformity with 33 and 49, is beyond the scope without legal authority and not cognizable at law. That is very simple and that is very clear.
Honorable Speaker,
just a minute, please.
We gather information that you went back to the Supreme Court. If that is true, tell us what is the reason of that.
No, we are consulting with our lawyers at this point.
And so, Honorable Speaker, I'm concerned about your post last Friday, immediately after the Supreme Court ruling, in which you concluded that you are contemplating on a transition. Why are you saying?
No, so we put out a reconciliatory statement last Friday. We will continue to encourage our members to come and sit together, let us reason together, and let the chips fall where they may. Honorable Speaker, since a ruling of
Nima County.
Excuse me?
Why is the security senior for the threat you received from Nima County?
Did you receive anything? No, I'm not going to say I received a threat from Nima County. We received a threat last night, and the Joint Security is investigating that.
Honorable Speaker, there are reports that some of your supporters, some lawmakers who support you, were at the forefront of some violent activities here this morning. Are you in?
They were not at the forefront of violent activities. They were brutalized. Let's understand what happened. They were brutalized by forces of the Liberian National Police, who obviously is a party in this now, by virtue of the fact. You know, the interesting thing you got to look at is, when you see me walking around here, other than the detail that they gave to me, you don't see plenty police. The other lawmakers, you don't see plenty police. It's only when the so-called absentee black comes here that you see that force. If they announce they're not coming here tomorrow, you will not see one policeman here. Okay, we are the people's representative. We are not afraid of the people.
Hold on.
Yes, you hold on.
People are disappointed in terms of what is happening at the level of the Capitol building. They couldn't raise issue about the proceeding here. Are you concerned? Why will you let us say to the Liberian people?
Oh, we are concerned because, number one, the Supreme Court, we all want to go by the rule of law. The Supreme Court have decided. Others have decided to read that decision upside down. But regardless of how you read it, it is clear what the Supreme Court defined as plenary and what will have legal effect. That is clear. So I think what the people need to do is to pray on their lawmakers, to return to work.
Honorable Speaker, the majority of black seems not trying. Go ahead. The majority of black, as they call themselves, it seems not to abide by the code ruling. So what's the next action?
Well, they are not abiding because they have, as I said before, the aid and comfort of the executive branch. If the executive branch sends their officers here and their members here to testify before them, if the executive branch sends police here to brutalize their colleagues. Right now, Honorable Luther Collins is in the hospital. Okay, they use baton on him. Okay, they use tear gas on some members. Where is the outrage? Where is the outrage? Why is the police? You go in every corner of the world, and you can see all over Parliament, they'll be throwing chairs at each other. Do you see police there? Oh, this is Liberia. This is Liberia. And the executive branch must be free from complicity in this treasonous plot.
Final two questions. In the midst of everything that's happening here, from the onset of this saga, you said the legislature can handle this situation. You don't need executive intervention. Given what is happening now, what is transpiring with the executive and the majority bloc, are you disappointed in the action of the executive?
Of course I'm disappointed. Of course I'm extremely disappointed. We have numerous times registered to the executive branch that the rule of law must prevail. If they are not clear, they need to go ask the Supreme Court what the Supreme Court meant. But I suspect that everyone is clear what is meant here. What is happening is politics in its worst form, and it's tyranny in its best form.
Very easy.
Oh God! You know the funny part, he never wanted the interference of the executive, but now that he wanted the president and the executive to intervene, no, bro, you cannot have it both ways. The executive is going to do exactly what the Supreme Court did. They will cut separation of power. That's why we keep telling you, at the end of the day, there is no impasse on this that will give you the logical answer that you want. Not even the Supreme Court. Once it becomes a political matter.
When we listen to him also, Morgan, he also said that the executive also interfering.
Oh, how the executive interfering? I didn't know what he was trying to say.
Yes, some part of his talk is saying that he also disappointed in the executive because, quote unquote, when they are around, where maybe the majority bloc they are not around, there are no police officer. You don't see the kind of huge flows of security and so forth. But when they,
but what you saw happening today is why the police officer will come around, because you got people like Dixon Sibo saying that it will be chaotic and it will get worse over the coming days. What you think the security forces are going to do? They know there is an impasse in the house. There are two separate blocks, and the worst could happen. You saw people with tear gas. So Just because the police presence doesn't negate anything or justify one group, they must be there to protect and from mitigating situations to get out of control, from getting out of control. That's it.
Okay, so Mark, thank you, but let's start with all of the overhaul, everything today that have been happening back to back. What your own observation into all of these things? Because my date started sometime October and even enter in on November and November ended. Now we are in December and it's still moving from we say from good to bad, from bad to worst. And with all of the play by play. Liberians are not benefiting anything. We'll come to that also. But more, with all of this happening, are you sensing anything like we are gradually entering into another serious embarrassment for our country?
Maybe on everything we say on the show, everything we predicted is happening. There is nothing new yet. Nothing strange for me. I told you from day one and the audience on this platform, you cannot get a constitutional remedy from a political impasse. It's almost like trying to put square pegs in a round hole. It will never ever happen. It will only get worse. And maybe you can push it. Like I said, when you get to a constitutional crisis, then maybe because the last time I heard Jason Siebel, he talking about interim government. So maybe that will be our last resort. I told you once the speaker cannot have a quorum. And I wanted that they generally ask me a simple question and Dixon people go by insulting, go to your daddy house. That was a legitimate question. How can you conduct government business in the absence of a quorum? Quorum is the first order of operation anywhere around the world, whether it's in America, whether it's in the UK Parliament, that's the rule of the game. So how can you conduct government business in the absence of a quorum? They made the very same war that the Supreme Court or the phrase that the Supreme Court you about ultra virulence apply to you because you are stepping over your bound. The same thing that will apply to the majority black, that's the same thing that is being applied to you. So technically, the majority black, like I said, they don't have the numbers to remove the speaker, but they have the number to conduct business constitutional and legally. So at the end of the day, when it comes to look, let me ask you, maybe why do you think the executive will send the Ministry of Finance individuals and the LRA to go and do business with the majority black?
And that's the thing that, like for example, someone will say maybe quote unquote because after the Supreme Court ruling, say good evening and welcome. Okay, so after the Supreme Court ruling, at the end you will see so order. So that means they were maybe quote unquote relying on the executive to implement all of the things that have been said in the ruling. But then, unfortunately, more from what we are seeing is like on the contrary, and you are saying that it is political, it is their own political, maybe play by play that they are doing. But Monk, to your question, I agree that it is their right to change or to remove their speaker. But on the right, for me, I think the way the executive is also siding, they are like quote unquote supporting the majority of black because that would be on the accusation that will be leveled against them. Because if the kind of a situation is ongoing and you are still sending people there to go and do business, so which type of business that is more than Liberian peace? Which type of business that is more than Liberian people coming together and reuniting more? Which type of business?
And there's where I'm conflicted on the whole issue. Because you can't be calling for one thing and keep doing the opposite. That's why I told you the Constitution lay out clearly that to do the Liberian people business, you must first have the numbers to maintain a quorum. That's the first order operation. Remember when you're growing up, you did mathematics in school, right?
Right?
Okay. You remember something they call BODMAS? Bracket open, multiplication, addition, subtraction, division before? And you know the order of operation?
Yes.
Okay. If you want for the executive to, you cannot be calling for both sides. You cannot say because he's the speaker, so the executive is going to do business with him. I told you guys from day one. I said in the kind of a situation or in the kind of a crisis, the executive is also walking in chalk line by respecting the very same constitution. And look, the executive don't have to interfere into the whole speaker thing. But the president has his own agenda that he must confront, that he must be able to meet the Liberian people business as well. One group is legitimate to conduct business by the very same constitution. Another group possesses the speaker, but he's not in the he's not in authority to conduct government business. So if you're the executive, who are you going to do business with?
Good.
The
Good
minority
question,
black? You cannot do
no,
business with a minority black. You will do business with a majority black, even if you disagree with the matter in which they are proceeding when it comes to the removal or the resignation of the speaker. Constitutionally, look, let me tell you something, maybe on the first rule in parliament, number is a numbers game. It's the people with the number that conduct business. Like I keep saying on the show, you can have your emotion, you can have your political side, you can have your political leader. At the end of the day, in every parliamentary procedure all around the world, the people with the number are the ones that are recognized to do business with in terms of the constitution. So the whole idea that the president is trying to take side, no, you don't want to solve your own problem. That thing have been going on for the past 17 years. You have two speakers that were vacant, and we told you from day one, for Nanti Kofa, your primary responsibility is to know that at any given point in time, you have your caucus in check to do the Liberian people business. If you wake up from bed one morning and there's a split in your coalition, my brother, you are a dead man walking, even with a gavel in your hand. That's just how the game is played. And not only in Liberia, but all around the world. That's something people don't want to accept because for them, they must always take side before they can think. That's the problem. And we told you that the Supreme Court ruling, it was also open-ended, and you guys, they were, I know some of your Facebook scholar and legal analysts and the spin master, they were all here talking all kind of stuff. At the end of the day, I said, you guys give a couple of days, you will see. So what are you going to do next? Run back to the Supreme Court? It will be a never-ending process, and there's a process he's not going to win. I told you from day one.
Well, Mark, if you're saying that you're not going to win, because I know most of our people are also Hey, Sekou, I was talking.
Can you hear me?
I tried calling your name, but you were not talking.
Kind of a little bit busy, that's why.
Go ahead, Sekou. Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, how you guys doing, Mong and Mabon? What's up?
Yes, sir, Sekou.
Well,
yeah, Mong,
okay.
I called you,
But just
I
that
called you
Liberia is
earlier
just
today,
a
but
small
you didn't
country.
pick up.
Call me last night?
No, today it went to the voicemail straight.
Or maybe someone just called me not too long ago on the phone, and I had another call coming from chairman. I know it was a chairman or somebody here, but maybe that's the reason I didn't see it. Though.
No, it was before the show time.
Oh, okay. Then maybe I missed that call.
The information, well,
all right.
No worries. We'll talk about it later.
All right. Later, okay.
Yeah, so I've been following, and I decided to come on just to make a few comments and few clarifications in terms of what we projected, what we talked about before, to come and say that we have been once again vindicated. You know, you can choose what you want to believe. You can choose to take a side if you want to, but the reality remains the same. For somebody to even say that the executive is taking side, Joseph Baka is taking side, Joseph Baka is doing this, that you are beating on a dead horse, that you don't even know what you're talking about. The removal, the process, the reason to remove Fonate Kofa is initiated, sponsored, and orchestrated by Joseph Baka government. So if you stay thinking otherwise, then you're just living in limbo. You don't even know what you're talking about. We have said this before, and I will reiterate what I've said. Joseph Nima Boakai government will get what they want in Liberia, and there's nothing any of you can do about it. You said you wanted Joseph Boakai, and you got Joseph Boakai. This is how Joseph Boakai want to run his government. And in order for them to get the government holistically, for them to be able to eat as much as they can, they want to make sure they consolidate their power all over the place, including the legislature. They want to have the same legislature we have with we are government. They want to have control of the executive, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. And they already have the legislature, the Justice Department in their pocket. You listen to the Justice Minister when he went to the Supreme Court. The Justice Minister was asked, since he is the Attorney General,
Yep.
the biggest lawyer in the country.
In the country.
So what should we say? Say we got nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
That will tell you the Supreme Court say don't say anything, just leave it like that.
Yeah.
Let the people decide their thing politically. They have nothing to do with law. The man said that. You say, oh, the Supreme Court will decide. We told you the Supreme Court already. They got their hand in the cookie jar. The Supreme Court came and put something confusing and stupid. You're trying to justify it. If Supreme Court can come and say nobody is wrong, nobody is right, anybody who goes against X, Y, and Z, that the person is doing that beyond the scope of their power. And guess what? Other people are saying, whatever they did, whatever their action, they acted within the scope of their power. That's what they're telling you. Because nobody told them what they did was because the misinterpretation of the Supreme Court ruling for many people is that the Supreme Court say the majority acted in a way that is considered ultra viral. No, Supreme Court didn't say that. Supreme Court left it open. They said anybody who is now working in conformity with Article 49, Article 33, you are engaged in what they call ultra virus. But now, the majority are telling you that they acted in conformity with the law. Who is there to tell them no? It's supposed to be the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court says everybody's right, everybody's wrong. You go and interpret for yourself. So, when we said the other day that the Supreme Court was wrong, the Supreme Court did nothing, the Supreme Court said nothing because it created more problem than solving the problem, you guys went amok. Some of you, I'm even disappointed at some of you people. You refuse to support us simply because we disagree with you. That means you're not even tolerant to obtain, to entertain another opinion. Those are the problems in Liberia. You don't want to disagree. You don't want to disagree with us. We don't want us to disagree with you. You want us to be a bunch of followers. Whatever you say, we just follow it. That we don't have minds of our own. We cannot analyze. That we cannot do critical thinking. And we told you, Joseph Barker is getting to what Joseph Barker wants. And that's the country we have called Liberia. CDC can change it. Unity Party people, they will do whatever they want to do. They believe they can do everything and go free. We told you that, and you are arguing, thinking that we are supporting them. Now you have it. You said Supreme Court rule in favor of fanatic over. Now, who's supposed to enforce the ruling of the Supreme Court is the executive. Now the executive is providing protection, also solidifying the legality of the work of the majority. Not only by giving them the budget, but giving them protection to have the budget hearing. So what the Supreme Court will say, call them back again. When the finish, he say, we can't say more than this. If we could do anything more than what we just told you, we'll be going against the law. Some of you need to learn to do critical thinking, to do critical analysis, to be able to predict some things when they come in. So I just came to say that, Mong and Mabel, that we have been vindicated again. We told you that Joseph Barker will get what he wants, and Joseph Barker will do whatever he likes, and nothing will happen. Because Liberian people, they are accustomed to bad leaders, and they love bad leaders. So what's going to happen now? I mean, if there should be anything, should there be any problem right now, should have started today. Because you know what? Lawmakers were beaten. They were flogged, they were brutalized.
Yes,
and
in fact, that's the video.
And more to come. I tell you more to come. The next thing, let me predict the next thing to you. The next thing, they will tell Fanatic Kofa to return whatever belongs to the office of the speaker. If he refuses, they will forcibly take it from him. And nothing he can do about it. That's the next thing they will do. And the next thing again, all other lawmakers who fail to work with them, you guess what they will do after legitimizing themselves? The next thing they will do, they will create room wherein they will empower themselves to create vacancy. If you fail to work with them to come to work, they will give you timetable. If you don't comply with them, if you don't work with them, then they will remove you. They will declare your position vacant. Joseph Boakai is not joking.
Well, thank you, Sekou. The only thing, the only thing is that all the Google things that you are talking like imparable.
The CDC did not know how to use power. They only knew how to remove Cabinet Janet, but then everything else. Let me conclude. Let me conclude. So everything that I said in the past, I'm reiterating what I said in the past. Liberian people, they can talk. They're only looking for breaking news every minute, every second, every day. And they do nothing with the breaking news they receive. They want to hear this one news, the other news. But guess what? They do nothing with the news they get. They have everything. They have every reason to get on the street. They got every reason to fight for their democracy. They got every reason to get on the street to say Joseph Boakai will not satisfy the way you run our country. If the majority of the people can get in the country on the street, even 200,000 people can go on the street for 3 days, Joseph Boakai will resign. But you know what? It's not going to happen. Because Liberian people, they like bad leaders. They adopt bad leaders, they admire bad leaders, and they support bad leaders. The country is going to be divided. Handful of people will go on the street. Then they will counter protest. At the end of the day, they will flog you again like the way they did today. If the people can't spell the lawmaker, that you ordinary person, you will spare, then nothing will happen. That's Labra for you.
Well, thank you so much
for
for
those comments. If you guys can hear me.
Yes, we getting you, even though there are a little interruption. But Monk, are you getting Sekou?
I'm getting Sekou loud and clear. Perfect.
Okay, wonderful. So everything like I said to you, Sekou, everything you are saying is like parable. So only the wise one will understand exactly.
No, it's clear. Sekou spoke in plain English, no parable.
No, what is parable? Sekou is also in fact Sekou acting like even the Supreme Court. Only the wise one will understand Sekou. Sekou, are you there? You want to say something? Well, I don't know about it.
Yeah, I think he keep grinding. I mean, he keep going off and on for some reason.
So I think Sekou, you got to go out and come back in. But again, for Monk, you listen to Sekou, but for me, I grab so many things from him, and that's the kind of country we have. These are leaders that we all voted for. But Monk, let's be frank and let's be real. With that video that you're watching, right? With all of the happening from that video, I want you to give your own fair analysis about that scene that you are watching, because that video also there's journalists, mixed group of people, lawmakers, so on, that will also been pushed or quote unquote been pushed away by force by the LMP officers. And they want to take on that same or that video, Monk.
Mais bon, I keep saying in this show, we were given two important organs in our body, the heart and the brain. You got to know when to use both of them. We saw this thing coming. We projected that there was going to be the end result. And this is why our lawmaker choose to sign for or the sign up for. Maybe every time you refuses to take full responsibility for your action, you will never make better decision in life. This law, these loopholes have been existing for the past two other speakers were victim of this. You don't even need a constitutional reform or amendment to change this thing, to settle this conflict. You only need an amendment to the horse rule that they could have solved themselves. Let me give you a typical example. The reason that I would never take a side, no matter what happened, and I could care less about what happened. Maybe, let me give you a typical example. For Nanti Kofana, who is a victim of this quagmire, let's assume that Richard Kuhn was the present speaker and certain lawmakers decided to take advantage of this particular loophole in the law. You think Fanati Kova would have stood up for the Constitution if he was going to be the only receiving end? You want to believe that? That if you flip if you change the shoe on the other foot, you think he would have been in favor of the Constitution? No, it's not about the Constitution. It's all about people. And one our sister made a comment yesterday, in Felicia Wallow. She said they kept that particular provision in their own rules to exploit it for political purposes. So at this time, they are all part of the same cartel. It's all about one group being victimized. That's it. Because if they were interested in avoiding this thing, maybe they would have solved it easily. They are not interested in doing it. That's my point. That's why I keep telling you, if you keep running to the Supreme Court, maybe let me give you a typical example. If you had two children, right? Two kids that were confused, you told them, oh, y'all go read your study, I want you to concentrate and focus. And those kids went and started the process of reading and pretend that they are studying, right? And you, the parent, you came to the conclusion that maybe they are playing, they're not concentrating. And you tell them, say, oh, you guys are not concentrating. You are not concentrating, you are not focused, you're not concentrating. Maybe you cannot assume that the kids are not concentrating if you never lay down the rules for what you consider to be focus and concentration.
Oh, yes.
That's why we told you. How can you assume? Look, anytime, I'm now a lawyer, I never went to law school. Every time Supreme Court come up with ruling, the first thing you should look at the premise they are trying to establish, not just a concluding statement. And that's what happened. When we read that thing, I read that thing 3 different times. I said, hell no. The Supreme Court is just making a complex matter compound complex. You are telling me that Article 33 and Article 49, that the Constitution and the horse standing orders and rule is not even clear. Then how can you accuse somebody of violating or stepping out of the bound, referencing those same 2 articles? Then it means you are having a both way. It does not make sense. Maybe there is something in logic they call propositional logic. And let me just give you one example. If I tell you that maybe every time it rains, the ground is going to get wet. It don't necessarily mean that every time the ground is wet, then it means it's raining. You see how complicated that is? The same statement, maybe every time it rains, the ground is going to get wet. But just because the ground is wet, it don't necessarily mean that it is raining. You cannot keep telling the Liberian people that you want to solve this impasse. You interpreting the Constitution, and then you want to throw a monkey wrench. You cannot be clear. The Supreme Court was never clear.
So, Monk, so let's go back to the budget hearing on today, Monk. Do you think, with all of the saying that, oh, we're going to do the Liberian people job, do you think Liberian people are really going to benefit from all of the hauling and pulling, even with the budget hearing on today?
The Liberian people never been a winner in anything anyway. When it comes to our politicians and lawmakers, just looking at the budget over the past couple of decades, I would say maybe 2 decades now, dating back to 2005. Matter of fact, we have a budget wherein the lawmaker will they are only 103, like I always say, that will consume a lion's share of the budget. When it comes to public sector investment program, you can even see the total amount that is being invested. You can see the outcome. You still talk about poverty, joblessness, drugs infestation in the country. So it's not about Liberian people benefiting. It's just about them doing their own business and what you think they can get. And yet, the president surprised us in the whole thing. I think he's investing too much into this thing. And I don't know which fish he got to fry in this oil. Because the Constitution you keep quoting, The people who you even went to seek redress, they are still not giving you a clearer answer on this thing. And that's what your problem is. So for a guy like you that never supported the speaker and you don't want to play politics, I don't know, because if you're talking about the constitution and the Labrimpo benefiting, no, the Labrimpo are not benefiting from this. And they will not benefit because I get the standard operating procedure when it comes to the budget. So which fish you got to fry in this oil? People will come here, they can play their politics. They think that when you be fair in your assessment, they think that you want to take a side. You can interpret it all you want, but at the end of the day, everything that we predicted here will come to pass because your separation of power and the thing people talking about, oh, Joseph Boaga. Okay, Joseph Boaga could be the mastermind, but until you can prove that point, it's also political. And Joseph Boaga will tell you, say, no. That one, when he went to Sierra Leone, he told the people in Sierra Leone, say, that thing, it happened all around the world, a regular thing happening. So I'm not going to interfere. I will just sit on the sideline and watch the process play out. Why do you think he said that? Because he himself understands the separation of power. He cannot overstep a constitutional bound. So if you are calling on the president to intervene, then it means you are not respecter of the constitution as well. Because the very same constitution gave the president a roadblock. It gave him limited power that he can operate within. So how can you be telling the president to interfere at the same time you're talking about you are seeking a constitutional redress? It does that make any sense? How can you be undermining the very same constitution you are trying to uphold for the people who claim to be on the side of the law? Side of we law. Which law are you guys talking about? Joseph Boaga should interfere. Interfere to do what? Joseph Boaga, I told you guys, in the absence, I saw it with John Boehner in America. I saw it with Eric Clinton in America. They were not removed. They were just stripped of their power that made them useless. The most recent victim, I said it on the show, I gave case study. I told you about Kelvin McCarthy. It happened right here. You guys live in this country. You got big screen TV on your house. You watch news every day. These things happen in politics. External operating procedure. When the speaker cannot keep his caucus in check, that's the end. There is nothing you can do. You can go to the Supreme Court 1,000 times if you so choose it. You will never get a constitutional redress from a political impasse. How I said. So, Fanatic Kofa, sorry to say, you still have time. You can use your negotiation skills. You can use your political influence. You can go out there and come up with your 7 or 8 other lawmakers to give. The moment Fanatic Kofa can constitute a quorum, the whole dynamics change. That majority black will be there on the arrival. In the absence of that number, he wasted time. He's wasting his time. So for you guys who think that we are taking side, we got poor analysis, we don't read with comprehension, okay, we accept that. The only difference, everything we say will come to pass. So I don't know who got poor analysis. I really don't know who can really understand the constitution and politics, because how you can claim to know the constitution and politics, and every time you keep getting this something like that simple as ABC, you keep getting it wrong all the time. How? How can you make the argument? How do you make the case? The executive will always do business with the people that has the number, because there is no ambiguity when it comes to a quorum and doing the government business. It's clear. Nobody can say, oh, the executive is overstepping the bound or they're not going by constitutional mandate. No. The people with the numbers to conduct the government business will be the plenary. They are legitimate by virtue of the same constitution. In the absence of that particular number, anything Fanatic Over does in the name of doing the government business is considered ultra virus. That's when the pendulum will swing.
A minute more. Let me just inform our people that we will continue with the show. No break for the news. The news guy or the news people saying that we should continue up to 8 o'clock. So that's it. Go ahead, Mom. Sorry.
Yep. So maybe nothing is going to change. It will just get nastier. I hear people talking about how they how they call it? Where different people say that somebody might call for interim government.
Yeah,
more. A lot being wrong.
All of the things, more with other things happening, you are not moved. What?
I'm not moved.
Yeah,
I'm nothing shaking me. That's why I told you I would never take a side. Nothing embarrassing me. There is nothing there to embarrass me, because I've seen this thing before. I'm living in a country wherein we're supposed to be the example for the rest of the world. I see these people do this thing here all the time, whether it's in British Parliament, whether it's in the U.S. Congress. I see this thing happening. All you need to do, my brother, this thing is very simple. Go to your house rule and standing orders and rules, make an amendment, define what the cost, define strategy wherein when this thing happened again, you can compel your colleagues to come back. That's why when you read it, the funding from the Supreme Court, it said both in the Constitution and in their own rules and order, there is no provision that will solve this problem. They said it clear. You didn't read it, or you want to read the Supreme Court ruling only at the last sentence?
But most Liberians are saying, or majority of the Liberian people, they are saying that let the people go back into the regular chamber and do the right thing instead of just having a separate chamber and doing a work. If you believe in yourself that you have the numbers, if you believe in yourself that in fact you want to get the speaker out, the best thing to do, more what people are saying is that go back into your chamber to where you were when you voted him, instead of you being maybe elsewhere. Because if you do that, Monk, then you are also setting a bad example. Now, what they are saying, they're not saying that one of the speaker is there or one of the speaker have been removed from that. Now, people are not very concerned about that. But what they are saying is that they want all of them to go back into where they used to be and remove the speaker. Just simple as ABC, Monk. This team,
there is a saying in politics that said there is a saying in politics that said there are so many ways to skin a cat. The Constitution gave you a clear step-by-step order as to how to remove a speaker. That's why I told you, when you take your emotion from this thing and look at it from the bigger picture, you have two criminal enterprises struggling to get to consolidate power. And that's why I say on this show, the reason they cannot go back to do business as usual when it comes to the speaker removal or to go back on a gavel, because they understand they themselves will also be liable for committing crimes when it comes to corruption. So they are using an asymmetrical means. The Constitution says, remember, I will give you an example. Okay, no, it's working. It's working for them. It is working for them. Why would you say it's not working?
But you just saying something happening today, where we witness a terrible scene today from Capitol building. Is that the kind of life that we want to live, Monk? Is that the kind of example that we want to show to our children?
Mabel, who conducted government business today?
Illegally, it was the...
No, it's not illegal. No, that's not illegal.
Oh, yeah, because
what they did today to invite...
Action before. No, I can't be Monk, 30 seconds. So I've been seeing things. I haven't seen that kind of transaction before. Where you standing there, there's security officers, people are protesting, people are into serious confusion, serious disarray, and you are there carrying leaflet or maybe carrying quote-unquote documents to go and present. No, Monk, I think that's a good example for us as people.
No, you are just not used to seeing it. I'm not saying that it's appropriate, but it's maybe I said it on the show. When it comes to law and when it comes to politics, there are certain actions that you can take that will be inappropriate, but it does not make that particular action unconstitutional. And that's where people have the problem. You cannot mix politics and the Constitution. Politics is political maneuvering. It's about arm twisting. It's about negotiation. Constitution are just laws that are written, and people will always find a way to tweak. Can you imagine Melbourne in this country just recently what we watched in this great United States, wherein a Supreme Court can rule, and somebody who called himself a special prosecutor that was not even appointed legally by Congress can go and file a superseding indictment against a former president. Look, Melbourne, let me tell you something. I'm not a smart guy. I won't consider myself to be smart. But the one thing that I know, I'm not a fool. That one I can guarantee you that I'm no fool for someone to play games on. I saw it from the Supreme Court move. I told you at the end of the day, watch another group that will fall in line. The Senate. But which law? But which law are you quoting, my brother? Which law?
The law that governs us together.
You went for an interpretation of the law by the people who should be the final arbiter of the law. They are telling you the very same two provisions of the Constitution you are quoting, Article 33 and Article 49, that they are ambiguous, that they are not even clear, and there is no remedy to come up with a particular solution to close that particular ambiguity. Then how can you tell me I'm interpreting the law? That's why I gave you the example. I said, Mabel, every time it rains, the ground gets wet. But just because the ground is wet, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's raining. Isn't that two contradicting statements? You didn't read what the Supreme Court said?
Mark, so when I ask you this question, sometimes you hear they kind of saying that goat luck and sheep luck is not the same, right? These are things that sometimes that we usually say behind the same, or maybe say normal life and so forth. So Monk, just because this happened long ago and nothing happened, or maybe there are no punishment, or maybe there were no checkpoints, or maybe there were no one around to talk about what happened in the past. That means we should continue with all of the bad things that will be happening, Monk.
I don't know when you say bad things. I really don't get that point when you say bad things.
For example, now everything in the country now is all about politics that we are saying. It's politics. So let the country now to flow on politics. So like for example, if somebody take maybe fire and put it on your horse and say it's politics, will you agree?
Why would someone want to take fire and just put on my horse in the name of politics?
Good.
When we talk about politics, we are just talking about the way how your particular law is written and how politicians operate. That's what we keep saying. I'm not telling you to go do something bad in the name of politics. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying what you see happening in Liberia happen everywhere around the world. And matter of fact, you have two individuals that were victims of the same quagmire. How can you sit there for 17 years with the constitutional authority and duty to read laws, your own rules, and even amend the constitution? How can you sit there for 17 years, dating back to 2007, that Eddie Snow become victim of this, or Alex Tyler became a victim of it, and Frantic Kofa, who happens to be your lawyer, he will sit there for this thing to come and happen. Frantic Kofa, I told you from day one, he couldn't even maintain caucus in his own party. And that's what politics is all about. Legislative politics first is about numbers. That's why they went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said no. They tell you, say, okay, I can tell you who is overstepping their bound. But equally so, you cannot clearly define the law. So if you cannot tell me the limit of the law, then it's very hard for you to tell me that I'm overstepping my bound. You cannot tell me that there are ambiguities in Article 33 and Article 49. Then at the same time telling me, say, oh, I'm overstepping Article 33 and Article 49. That's why we told you the moment that particular ruling came here, it came out. I say, oh my God, they just made things worse. And guess what happened, Mabel? What happened today? You seen it? And it will get worse than today. And the only sad part about this is there will be no solution.
What you are saying is politics. So because of politics, somebody should lose, or maybe got hurt, or maybe somebody should die from that kind of maybe behavior or something that we're wasting today. No, we'll say no. It's not politics. Let's learn how to practice decent politics instead of us doing politics that are going to carry our country backward. So that, for example, with all of the politics that they're doing today, all of the budget hearing today, how much Liberia going to benefit? UL is closed for almost 2 to 3 months. They're not even thinking about school opening or maybe UL opening. They don't even care about even the livelihood of the people they even represent. But all they do is that politics. They dress nice, they dress neat, and they have security around them. No, Mom, we have to stop. Yeah, we have to stop giving these people that someone saying, Mabel, you know, you can continue to be voting. Let me tell you, like I can always say on the show, voting is not the problem now as we speak. You just listen to Monk. It's politics. So even you can vote new person. The person will down and one with the system. And these are things that we really observe in Monk, that even if you put a new lawmaker, you will see the same. How many new lawmakers, in fact, the entire government, the new president, you have new vice president, you have you have close to almost 42 new representatives. Where are they today? Most of them, they are on the so-called majority bloc with even more pastor. I saw him today in one of the video today. Monk, your pastor.
I saw men of God sitting in the corner and he was there. No.
Mabel,
when this particular issue first surfaced on Sktv, you know, listening, I tell people, I say listening is tougher than speaking. Because when you are speaking, you know, you are the one explaining things. But when you really want to understand people, take a step back, observe, and then listen. We said it on the show. We say at the end of the day, you, the Liberian people, will be the one to make decision on this matter. Didn't we say it on Sktv?
Yes.
We told them, I said, if this situation had happened in other countries, they would have solved this problem, because for them, it won't be politics. For them, it will be about finding a solution. We told the people, if you are from the congressional district of any lawmaker in the minority black, they will have been flooding their phone with calls, telling them, guys, you put pressure on your lawmaker. That's how it is
Oh, yeah.
done. That's why you see in this country, they get a lawmaker number. That's why they are public officials. They work for you. But you know what? They are not interested? No, because for them, they must always pick a side. We told you guys, looking at the totality of this particular situation, you are not the winner, you're the Liberian people. You can only be the loser. Because the two groups that are fighting, they're not fighting for you. They are fighting about you hold this with the national cake. For them, it's about a cake or cake that you irritate. That's what it's all about. So why would you be interested in whether somebody is respecting the law? Matter of fact, we get instances on the show. When Joseph Braga came with Yellow Machine, we told them there's a very unconstitutional move. We have procurement laws. You can't say because Liberia need rules, so you can just go and bring any shady investor and you will take taxpayer resources. We said it, but guess what? These same folks were yet defending it. Who told you that interested in the Constitution? Whoever told you that?
Probably before Segu come on, Mark, I think the Liberian people, you are just saying something so unique. Liberian people, I think they are waiting for politicians like maybe one of the politicians to come and hold their hand. Look, if you're waiting for a politician to come and tell you what to do, how to go about with things, how for you to go out there and even assemble, you are wasting your time. Because politicians will always use you and they will come again and drive you the same way that they are doing right as we speak. Seko, you back?
Yes, I'm back. I'm enjoying I'm enjoying you guys. I'm enjoying the conversation. I enjoy the part where you said somebody should go and profile one house they call it politics.
Yes, yeah, but seriously,
but I love the response, from Monk, because the thing is, maybe on the problem of Liberia and we Liberians as a whole, we don't rationalize. We are not sincere. Majority of us, we are not sincere. We only support things that we think is in our favor, or it has something to do with our relative, our friends, or somebody we support. But from a realistic standpoint, a lot of people in Liberia, even those people outside of Liberia, as long as you are Liberian, we all have this problem. Majority of the people that are supporting fanatical in this, they are not open to rationalizing the whole process. They are not open to learning new things. They are not open to understanding how politics work. Most of them are in it simply because this is a UP problem, so they're against anything UP. If it is CDC problem, then a UP person will be anything against a CDC. Also, they're sympathizers. Majority of the people that I've seen making the argument, they either sympathizer with the CDC, friends with Fanatic Kofa, country solidarity, CDC solidarity, but nothing, nobody making rational point. They will not say the law, on the side of the law. Which one is the law? The final arbiter of the law tell you, say the law is vague. The final arbiter, the highest court in the land, is telling you, even after quoting the articles, they tell you it's vague. After all of that, they are telling you, we're not going to say anything more than what we just told you. Now, which one is the law? Liberia, we have a long way to go. Let me tell you, neighbor. And the reason is everything is politicized. People's minds are made up for something or the other. Very few people that can rationalize, they can reason out, they can actually sit down and do critical analysis on issues. You either for or against. So that means you can't be neutral. You have to take a side. That's why some of us who have refused to take a side, we have been labeled with different kinds of labels. One day somebody will say, I'm supporting Joseph Boakai, I'm supporting Unity Party. You know very well within yourself that I'm not a fan of Joseph Boakai because I don't like their policy. Because I know Joseph Boakai was not up to the task from the get-go. I know Joseph Boakai will not be a good leader. And everything that's going on right now, we predicted it, and they're happening. My frustration, let me tell you today, is with the Liberian people. The ordinary Liberian people. This, when it is a political issue, you know, the two people can solve political problems. Politicians and common people. Not lawyer, not court, not anything. Only a politician can solve political problems, and the people that are more powerful more than politicians are the people that we call the electors, people who vote for them. You have the right, the Constitution gave you the right to remove your leaders if they are not behaving right, if they are not doing things in your interest. But you just say now waiting for someone at the Supreme Court that everything is politics in Liberia.
Most of the people of Segu, they are waiting for politicians to come and direct them, come and give them money, come and give them shites, come and give them food, come and give them clothes and so forth for them to go and put, for me, everything that is ongoing for us, that's just bad example. And people are sitting, watching everything like, just watch what that kind of a video coming from Capitol building, where our people are supposed to be talking about the growth and development of our country. There where we're seeing today and police officers. They are there doing back to back, push to push. Monk, are you there? Because Seku, Auntie Seku, yeah. Monk, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hold on 1 second, maybe. Let me say that I'm changing location.
All right, wonderful.
Yeah,
So
well,
again,
yeah, 1
folks,
minute.
if you just
1
joining
minute. Yeah,
us,
go ahead. 1 minute, I will be with you.
TV show, very soon we'll soon go to the line so that we can pick more calls and hear from the Liberian people themselves. Because if you are right here in Liberia, your children or your fathers or your mothers or your uncles that you send at the house, that's what's going on.
I think I'm good now, Moibon. I can take it from here. I think I'm good.
All right. So another thing before we go to the line to interact with our people.
Well, just before we interact with our people, we reiterate this point. We said what was going to happen is happening. It's going to get worse. Even your own lawmakers, even from folks that are on the minority side, they are saying exactly what's going to happen. You will not get a constitutional redress from this matter. Maybe when you read it, the Supreme Court statement, you know what caught my attention in the entire document? It was just one phrase. I mean, one paragraph. The second paragraph, you know what it says? It said they said that is it is the law in vague of the Constitution must be interpreted in light of the entire document rather than a sequestered pronouncement because every provision is of equal importance and even where there is an apparent discrepancy between different provisions, the court shall harmonize them if possible. Can you look at the sentence? If possible, because they understand that even their judgment is still considered an opinion, and there are certain ambiguities in the law that they are expected to solve. But in some instances, even the Supreme Court cannot interpret those ambiguities. That's why they say the Supreme Court should harmonize them, if possible. Remember, when you follow judicial politics and the Supreme Court, when you follow their procedure, right? You know they got cases on the docket that they can look after, right? Are certain cases that they do have, you know what they can do? They are just like a mock case where they can do to test the law to see where there is ambiguity in the law. They will go back for judicial review. They will bring those cases up, but they are not considered real cases. They are just using those cases as a means to test the very same constitution as to how they will interpret those laws. So the whole idea that anything the Supreme Court says, like my brother, whether you like it or not, you read that document in its totality. If you get the permit that was set by the Supreme Court, no, the Supreme Court made this issue complex, and I maintain my position.
So let's go to the jurors because our people, I think they are the jurors now. They will tell us exactly where are we as because I think the facts still continue like Monk said, and all of us we are watching peacefully from our little comfort zone, seeing all of the happening at the Capitol building. with the budget issue. So the numbers to call is 077-285-961. Again, 077-285-961. That's the number, please. 1 minute per call. We're going to take more calls here this evening. Today's caller, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, Chief. Go ahead.
Before your problem is you do not want to accept the reality that Mong is telling you.
Hello, what's your name, Chief? What's your name before I get problem?
My name is Quito Junior. I'm calling from 72nd.
Okay, go ahead, my brother.
This matter has two sides. It has a political, it has a legal side. So what the politicians do is they cannot go on the legal side, they go on the political side, and what people is trying to tell you.
So that means, hello, are you there? So the political side more than the rule of law? Okay, all right, no, it's not indoor one, nothing indoor one. Where you going? So let's call a good evening. Yeah, my dear, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, David. All right, my brother, got to move with speed. We got to go.
What happened today was quite terrible. It was quite terrible. Quite terrible for our country. And therefore, the question I asked today, are these people very serious to better the life of the Liberian people? Because all the investment they're talking about, how will we get investors coming to Liberia where people do not even respect the rule of law? You see police officers put on lasting lawmaker, taking lawmaker, put on lasting they are hospital line, and somebody is telling us that rescue government to rescue Liberia. No. Those are it's not even qualified to be a quarter chief because
all right, thank you. To this caller, good evening.
Hello, Lebon?
Yeah, my dear.
Brother Williams.
Go ahead, Brother Williams.
I just want to speak to your man and making analysis. I'm not attacking him personally, but I do not want him to give the power to the government. You know, saying that his analysis really will not satisfy with it. We will not continue to be putting leaders into power. That is speaker. Then he got disgracing the speaker. And they feel within their agenda, their constitution says for the now, let it go into corrupt. But when you make an analysis, you're giving power to the rebel. You are giving power to these rebels. And it will continue. Any speaker with the put in power, it will continue to happen. So I beg you might give the power to the government so that the government will do where we need God, He's giving opportunity to work.
But the government already start working with the people already. The people do budget here.
Can you imagine, Mabon? The man look. Go ahead, Mabon. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Joseph B. Nimle, and I come from Mambake to be precise on the Anthony Wele Avenue, where the people of Mambake are authorized their leader, Mr. Anthony Wele, to greet this for me to greet the president. Good evening, Mr. President, the best president of the Republic of Liberia. Good evening to you in your family this hour. Okay, Mabon, thank you for the topic honor discussion. We want to say thank you more. You see the you follow the dynamic of Liberia politics. Local Mr. Josiah Nadu called today, and this is people they breaking chairs. And I always told the Liberian people, we the citizens of this country, we know where we go and we know where we're going. We are supporting the government. This is people in Yeka Kolba. They were supposed to be killed today. They were going to die.
Yeah, don't put that kind of thing up. You see, he said he's supporting Joseph Boaka. You're talking that kind of things. Oh, can you imagine? Hello, yeah, to let's call a good evening. Go ahead. Yeah, thank you for joining us, my brother. Yeah, they said the other year it's a 0 year. They said I was just practicing years for us. So that move ahead with the banner for 5 years. I don't know, man. Let me get me up. Let me get me up. So let's call you better ready. Hello? No, you're not ready. Hello, to let's call up. What do you mean? Yeah, my dear, go ahead. Your name and from where you join us.
Thank you. This is the voice of William Covey, and I joined this conversation today. Today, will be the first day for me to agree with all for at least 10 to 20% of the analysis to that ruling class to any side. We know how the people respond to ruling when they want to give victory to any side. The people have to nominate us to call or individual. For example, if the person who wants to give the complete, the some people refer to that as a petition. So if the person who also goes to defend their star or the person who completely went to launch to the some people refer to that as a defendant. So in that light, if the some people wanted to say there's anything done by the defendant or if there is not information of Article 33 and 49 is also bad, then we know that indeed the majority bloc went as the defendant. They are the one that went against the law.
All right, thank you so much. Let me go to my warranty. Yes, good evening. Omar. Yeah, go ahead, my dear.
It was very, very bad for my son to understand. You know, they were in the diaspora there, they put sending a resource here, having a thing here. Tomorrow they will come for them to become representative or to become senator. So, and I say so it will be good for politics to overshadow the law of the country, the constitution of the country. And that's supposed to be that. They don't need to open our children to school. You say you're children to school for a student to do something cool. Look at it, because they see the kind of way they put the country.
I know. All right. Thank you so much. Like somebody said, if the program beat or lawmaker, then you people gotta be careful. More, hello to this caller. Good evening. I think we'll start starting now with more very soon. Yeah. Wonderful. Go ahead.
My brother, like always more is saying, and you're on the platform there. Sometimes the press get power. Those guys, they are not in the interest of the labyrinth people. And let me tell you, the opposition is not serious. The opposition, the Liberty Party or United Party, or CDC, they're not serious. Because CDC said they have been signing with the people. Looking at CDC, they kind of said we don't put on Liberty Party, CDC, they can't give.
So CDC is the only opposition political party in Liberia. I don't have so many. I don't have it 22 candidates during the going election.
The ANCO, the all around party, but CDC is the outstanding political party looking at it coming from power. The CDC that's you. If someone having to tell me today, say the CDC is signed to remove James and I did go ahead and battle people, I would say, yeah. The CDC that's you. You know, ever hear the pocket prayer video with all the kind of thing happening. They're gonna see what. So my brother, just continue to live in the interest of power. The team is of power on you just going to embarrass the set. Because you know, none of people are looking at all the kind of thing. They are seeing people there because United Party is sideline with it. Oh my brother, you just continue to be objected to the issue. That's all.
Thank you so much, my brother. And this I think so that when the ruling come out tomorrow and say, oh, the session day, that they say, hey, the project session us. Hello to this caller. Yeah, go ahead. Move away from the monitor now because I just gave you back calling me on another line. We not put the number. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, this is Moses Ganya. I call from Point Blank, Coach Hill. Yeah, you know, I just want to refer to more. You see, I always observe him, always go on the show, you know, that sentiment, always, he wants to play the role like he is not defending or you make the party. But deep down, indeed, we know that Mom is in support of this Senegal government. All the things that the government is doing, that one day we all hear Mom really trying to attack this government. So
All right, thank you so much, my brother, for your input, and keep your calls coming. By the time session come, they start crying again. The session, they play. Yeah, hello, to this caller. Good evening. Yeah, go ahead, my brother.
Level, when people lack integrity, that what can happen. For the president, all the way to the 43 lawmakers, they lack integrity. And because they are lawless there, they now understood what the Supreme Court said. The Supreme Court completely interpreted the law to them. The Supreme Court was not joining to say what everybody interpreted the Constitution, the 49, the 33. That's talking about according to the law and the president. The 49, the article 49 telling you the presiding officer is the speaker. Then you having a one session video on lawless there. You tell you say, oh, how some people ruin your favor, when they tell you say, whatever your they are doing, it will not according to the law. Law doing out of constitution. Then you still celebrating a video on somebody, then you like working with the people, sending ministers, sending budget to the people they having, talk on the budget, they want to go in there, so that public is not serious. From day one, we said it for the election that was listed that you never not serious, you like integrity, you have no wisdom to rule this country. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So let me go to the international line. Those of you out there, I place it on beneath my name. You will see it there. That's the WhatsApp number, also number to call. But Mark, if you have the chance maybe to take calls for that end, then well, no wahala. But let me go to Ben. Ben, good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be on the same side with Telon Gonglo that put in a good company when it comes to this whole issue. But there is something that my brother Monk always talk about, that the loophole that these guys are exploiting. And the loophole that they are talking about is Article 33. So here's my question to Monk. In Article 33, who is it referring to? Is it referring to the speaker group or to that other group? I will answer the question, but you can address it. Article 33 is referring to the speaker group, that the speaker can adjourn. So now those guys are saying the only reason why they are having quorum is because the speaker was absent. So my question to you now, to Mark and everybody, if the Constitution gave the speaker the right to adjourn every day, as he has been doing, how can he be absent? I want Monk, Sekou, and all of them to answer that one question.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ben. Let me go to UK and talk to Aki. Aki, good evening, my brother. It's not easy, but I hope that you're getting us from right here in Liberia.
I'm hearing you. Can I go ahead?
Yes, go ahead, my brother. You are live also.
All right. So I joined you from UK. So I want to appreciate the both of you guys in the studio for taking up your time to host the show. But I think we Liberians, we need to go beyond assuming and begin to ask people and begin to ask our public, our politicians when they make promises. There are perceptions about certain politicians might not just be the reality. When Deacon Joe Bata came to the Liberian people and said he had 44 years public service experience, we needed to ask him to comprehensively detail those experiences. The fact that we didn't ask him and we fell prey to, the sugary lies today, it bounced by in our faces. Now, I'm going to reference to a few things that is from Monk. Monk who has been weathered as to whether the executive is involved or not. When Deacon Joe Bata of the F4 Baptist Church wrote the House of Representatives to ask them for grace period in terms of submitting the budget because of the situation that was going on, in that communication, he said he was informed by some of his officials that they were being invited to testify to some allegations. Now, because of that, the officials they didn't appear. After the Congregation finished the legal consultation, the next day, what you saw, those officials they appeared before the adequate majority block. That alone invalidated the people sitting. What it means is that the fact that those guys didn't appear when they called them, that the president had to go and do consultation, he also made mention of that in the communication, and later we saw them going to their city, invalidated it. Now, I also want you to speak to the fact now.
the first article or communication, the speaker wrote to the Supreme Court to intervene when they issued the way of prohibition, prohibiting every activities of the Okoroko majority people. After they came down with their final ruling, they lifted the prohibition. This time around, the court said return to status quo ante. Status quo ante is very simple. What status quo ante means? Before you started out your whole not about removing the speaker, what they used to be saying, we used to be saying in a regular session, you go by there. Before you started your whole not who you used to call speaker, that for that people okay, you go by on him. Now, when the court came down with the final ruling, go and read that ruling. They didn't let the status quo ante. So everybody that's saying, oh, everything Fonati pay for, you didn't get it, is wrong. Because Fonati said they should maintain the code to come back on here, but the code has been maintained to the status quo ante. So why you want the Supreme Court to come and be repetitive in your ruling to say, don't go back on Fonati when they already stated that we came to status quo ante. We need to stop this, man. Let me say to the Liberian people. I don't know what kind of veto you want to claim because for a vulnerable society in Liberia, I think you are a native doctor. The fact that you want to say, okay, if you take your cell phone now, you put it in your ear to pass through radar, you will check your phone. Essentially, when somebody pass through radar with smartphone that they want to check it, you come by and say, hey, I tell you, I say, when you pass through radar, you check your phone. What kind of veto you claiming here, so?
All right, thank you so much, my brother. Thank you because you from that end. So I had to give you a little time because some of you it take a lot of energy for you to get through the line. But today's caller, good evening.
Thank you, Bebon. Good evening.
Yes, go ahead, my dear.
Well, there's a board of principal again. So I phone for District 5 respectively.
Yeah, go ahead,
so
Prince.
I think the behavior that were exhibited at the Capitol building today is controversial. Is how I'm understanding the whole thing. The Supreme Court did not say, in my critical analysis, that the action of those majority was controversial.
Hold on,
They said
please.
any, in view of the foregoing, any action that is not in conformity with Article 49 and Article 33 is controversial. So the people that went there today, anyone.
So even the lawmakers that they were flagging today were all
the people that were protesting, the people that left their very offices were talking, no government official will come with this and that. Their action is controversial. So I'm saying when we say that day that the ruling for the Supreme Court is never settled matter, the Supreme Court enlarged everything and they make everybody to interpret it their own way. Our men said we were lying. So I love what our responsibility have done. He have communicated according to information to the Justice Minister to come and properly interpret because they are well situated to come.
But the people working though, the people are now they are not receiving the budget. While the people are waiting for interpretation, the other people are working.
I want to say, the Supreme Court should come up with a decision that the lay person in the market should understand.
Okay.
The people have gone to them to pray for certain things. If it was granted, they should have said it. If it was denied, they should have said it. But they let everything open, anything in conformity. Now in conformity with Article 49, Article 33 is controversial.
All right. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Let me go to the international line. Sorry for holding this call of a very long time, but I don't want to call because sometimes the numbers, the name can appear, but a different name. So good evening. Please call your name and from where you join us.
Good evening, Mr. Moore.
Yes, go ahead. We're getting you. Yes, go ahead. We're getting you. I guess you're from the U.S. Go ahead.
I'm live by camera from here. I'm speaking from here. The problem now, just tell the Liberians that the problem is ourselves because the issue is the government has a problem and also everyone in this country, right? The first issues we don't have the mentality about ourselves by saying that this is Jupiter or this is Ishanta or this is the party or whatsoever. That is our notion. And power, we should begin to work along with them. And to the students community, there was see people passing around saying that this government is the best government for all the poor in power, and which the government told us that they have 42 years work experience in the government. We should ask them, But some of the things that he do and why the capability of being so, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the student community was to around saying that we should put this particular government, and now they are putting this government. And yet now we have seen a lot of things. I believe that what happened today, the youth, particularly you are going to be close for these issues. So tell me, how the student community and the librarians are crying for education and other stuff. You see, sometimes if not for now, if you put UP in power and institutions working, they will say, oh, this is UP. Instead of working in interest of the librarians, they will say, oh, this is UP and will not work according to the government. Even when it's sedition, they will say, oh, this is sedition time. They won't do anything to embrace the idea of seditions or UPs to be able to work, but with the country or citizens to be able to go. But they will say, well, this is after anything we do, they will take a period.
All right.
Helping the citizen.
All right. Thank you, my brother. That's the kind of country that we live in. Thank you so much for your participation. Let me move straight to Aliu Masale. Aliu, good evening. Aliu? Yeah, my brother, go ahead. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Maybon. Good evening, Bon. Thanks for the show, man. Yes, Maybon, the problem here, you see, what happening in our country today, this is so sad for our country. You see, even we are not even talking about investors, but some of us, when we even see such a thing going on in our country, it fear us to go back home. Because it just shows that our country is no longer safe. And this whole thing started, if you can get a certain president in a country that does not have respect for the constitution that made you to be a president, it does not have respect for the rule of law. Even the highest decision in the country, the Supreme Court, the president cannot adhere to Supreme Court decision. What do you expect for those boys and girls who are not people in the country? You see, Joseph Guy campaign on respecting rule of law, a part of his arrest agenda. And today he was the first person that they respected the rule of law. Bringing yellow machines in the country criminally or constitutionally by even abusing the procurement law. But people said there, oh yes, we want machine. So if you want machine, the president should bring it illegally. So if you people want to change a setting or speaker, so everything should be done unconstitutionally. In as much as the people are seeing that the party that is supposed to lead by, Joseph Baga should be an example that those people are supposed to follow. And they see that he is the president, he had no respect for the rule of law, the constitution, and the Supreme Court. We pray for Liberia, but we get more to see. In as much as Joseph Baga is the president of Liberia, no calamity to come. What we saw today, we will see more of it because they are moving by Joseph Baga example. Thank you and thank you.
Thank you so much. Liberians calling from the diaspora, it's just so sad for our country. And keep the calls coming. We take a few more calls and calls over to Mark so that we can have a little time to close on this show. Good evening to this caller. Back home.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, go ahead, my dear brother. Your name and from where you join us?
This is your brother, Sherry from Sherry from this is Saridi Molokono.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
All right, so let me appreciate you guys for the topic on discussion. I think my brother from the diaspora just getting the hear right. And I also want to concur with Brother Sekou. I want to agree with his positions on the discussion tonight. Everything that is going on, my brother, the president is in the know. And this thing today is started. Remember the speaker election. The speaker election, you can retrospect that Joseph Bogat was not wanted for Speaker Kufa to become Speaker. And then he has been doing everything possible to get rid of the man. Everything. The whole room. Everyone understand. They say you go back. So why is it that the government will be providing security for the majority black? Why? Then when Speaker Kufa go on to capital building, no security for him. So what's going on?
And the man said it today. Mm-hmm.
See what went on today? We have to be careful in the country. As the way things are going on, maybe they say the country is not safe.
Well, we got to be careful out there. That's all I can say to all of us.
Be careful. We have to go on to do things. We have to be careful because what's going on now? I'm still afraid.
All right.
The people have that. They have everything that they need. They have a passport, a children, everything set. As anything happen in the country right now, they'll be ready to leave this country.
If lawmakers can be beaten, then I don't know about you and myself, but we got to be careful. That's all I can say. Let me move on quickly to our international line and take more calls from there. Hello, to this caller. Yeah, good evening. Wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. I want to say is that you know the countries for everyone else, you understand? Elaborate all we have, you understand? So the issue is that we all know what's going on. That the president is part of this whole issue with the majority bloc, you understand? Okay. For the sake of Elaborate, people particularly will just have to resign and allow Elaborate work to go on. Yeah.
That's a recommendation that you want him to resign.
You refuse to go.
The government will not want to work with him, right? That's what you're saying. Even if he stay.
Sure.
All right.
It's not what I'm saying that government will not work with him. That's what is happening.
All right.
What is happening? What's going on?
So you want him to resign?
Sure.
All right. All right, thank you so much, because people have been beating lawmakers that were also seeing on cameras. It's not they say and the other say. They were seeing back to back. We take 3 more calls. We'll cross over to Monk. To this caller, good evening.
Good evening, my brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good evening.
Okay, thank God for life. It's just that Liberia Wahala can't end. We will not finish soon.
Well, Mom, I need people said, yeah, I'm putting this thing on chicken factory. Well, more, sometimes I know why they war have to come to the country. Why they brought this war? Because the reason is that things were going wrong. They're calling to them, they brought the war to change things. But even during some of those times, I never saw what happened to the capital building to happen. The man who considered the dictator at the time. So you see, the issue of the class will continue the capital building. That's just one reason. Women Bwaga will be addressing the nation on the 22nd of the achievement for the first year. You got no need to boast up. So you will continue to put fire in this crisis until the 26th of January we can pass. Watch my word. That is the game.
They got to just all right. We'll take one more call across over the mark. Hello, to this caller, good evening. So I mean, I just delayed 30.
Yeah, good evening, Mabel.
Yeah, my brother.
Good evening to the people. My name is Prince. I from Balance community.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, it's a pleasure. Honestly, let me be frank to our lawmakers who are from the other side, referring to themselves as majority black. I think they need to understand that Elaborate people and see how best they can go and do the Elaborate people job. The people are very clear, they can come in their way, and all the fingers are pointed at the majority black, indicating that everything they did, every system they have, every action they took, the political committee members, the more speaker was ultra-virus. They lack a legal proceeding and procedures they're supposed to follow. So they just come. I don't know why they won't be very disrespectful to the court. I think they'll be honorable enough if they can honor the court and then go back and sit down and honor the speaker. And every other thing can be pushed for now.
All right. Thank you so much. Let now call over to Monk. So we stop all of the calls. Thanks to all of you. Monk, you listen to both and abroad of, should I say, outside of Liberia, you know, they're so unique. And all of the callers, they say what they want to say to us on the show. But go ahead, Mark.
And you know, the last call is just fascinating because that's the twisted version of what we call a propositional logic. He's saying that the people are respecting the code, but the same code is telling you it's not our business to interfere in your matter. I don't understand about people. You are always in your field. Let me tell you something, baby. When I come here, when we come on Sktv most often, we don't come here for validation.
Are you there?
We are not seeking your validation. We are not taking position because the majority on this side, the minority on this side. No. We are looking at the facts. I'm telling you, I'm now a lawyer. I'm now a legal scholar. I am just telling you what is happening in Liberia is standard operating procedure all over the world. You can interpret it all you want to interpret it. You can put your spin on it all you want. You can be a constitutional scholar. I didn't go to law school, like I keep saying. I am just telling you what is going to happen. You won't get a solution by treading this path, and you keep and you see you're seeing it happening every day. But yet I don't know how some people think or how you process information. We saw this thing from the beginning. We called the shot. We tell you, no, you as the people of Liberia, the citizens of Liberia, you should take a stand in this issue or on this issue. You should make the cause your lawmaker because you are the one with the sole authority, even with the constitutional authority at the end of the day. These people only represent you because you gave them that power too. But for you, no. We cited so many instances. Matter of fact, the front page Africa came with an article that we read on the show that Fonati Kofa and Nyombli Kanga, in a disrespectful manner, met with Joseph Boaga under the cover of darkness to even discuss your budget. That an individual went and make changes to the budget without even going through the due process, and you want to come lecture me about constitution and law? Like, who do I look like to you? Boo Boo the fool? I am not. So, and to my old man who just called, that's why we keep telling you, you can use so many means to make sure the thing comes, whether it's people in civil society, whether it's religious council, whether you, the citizen himself. We give you a perfect roadmap as to how you can end this thing. You can make calls, you can call for lawmakers making amendment to the standing orders and rule, you can call for constitutional or review or constitutional amendment. There are so many ways to skin the cat. But for you, no, you are not interested in that. That's where your problem is. You are not interested. You're talking about, oh, the thing that happened in the country. Okay, yes, the same thing can happen everywhere. I am telling you, at the end of the day, you people, they almost like protest, maybe you can call for protest, but you cannot guarantee if that protest will end peacefully, right? So you okay, there are risks associated with protest. So when you said because the risk father, you will not engage into protest just because you cannot guarantee 100% that the protest will end up peaceful. No, these things are happening. You don't want them to happen, but they will happen. And we told you how to avoid the particular calamity you are watching. We gave you the play-by-play description. Don't go to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court will not interpret a political matter. But for you, no. You don't want to accept that. Because, like I said, your default position is to always take a side. So even when the facts are available, when you see the reality, no, because you have already programmed your mind into the caller who said, Mong always defending Joseph Boaga. I said it on the show countless times. Joseph Boaga is not even an option for me when it comes to the presidency in Liberia. And people know my position when it comes to politics in Liberia. So the idea that, because I'm telling you the reality when it comes to this situation about the lawmaker impact, if you want to tell me that I'm a paid agent for Joseph Boaga, I'm here to play defense for the government, you guys were the one that went with Joseph Boaga. I told you guys Joseph Boaga and Georgia are the least option when it comes to the presidency. They won't even be on my list for consideration. How many times I said it on the show? So for you to come here and accuse me of playing politics just because I'm saying what I'm saying, that's up to you. You made a choice and you will live with the consequences. That's why we keep telling you. You got to look at the quality of the people you elect to public offices because they will set the agenda for the country. You take a bunch of hoodlums, you put them in the first branch of government that's supposed to lay the foundation for your country, and you think it's supposed to get better results? Because I know when you put a bunch of responsible men in the room, because that's what makes them be a politician. Politicians will be people who are smarter, people who are skillful, people with negotiation skills, people with private sector experience, people with the history of solving problems. Those are the people you should elect to lead in government. But for you, no. You vote on tribal land, you vote on party land, you vote on sentiment, you vote for people with bad record when it comes to corruption. So who are you to come and lecture me about constitution and law? Who are you? You are not even serious for life. And I will keep saying it over and over. When it comes to the Constitution, when politicians are reading the Constitution, they are not reading the law that exists on the book. They are thinking 1,000 ways how to exploit laws that exist on the book. And I will keep saying it over and over. You don't have to like it. I just know you are seeing the movie. Maybe tomorrow will be Shaolin for the Lama. Maybe another day will be snaking the monkey shadow, because we told you from the beginning. You the one decided to go this path because for you, you always want to take a side and you're always looking for a hero. You don't want to take responsibility for your own problem. That's why I told you yesterday. You cannot sit in a country wherein a situation that existed, a conflicting situation to persist for almost 17 years. Then who are you? Then why you have a brain for them? Why you elected them? You pay them tens of thousands of dollars every month. You give them extra immunity. You give them gas slip. Some of them that generators are even living a better life than you. But for you, no, you don't want to solve problems. You want to look for a savior and keep looking for a savior and see where it leads to. Keep going.
Yeah, more. Thank you. Let me say thank you. We got to go. No time already. Thank you so much. And let me say thanks to all of our, thanks also to Sekou Kane, also for chipping in, and Temon, hopefully on tomorrow, by the grace of the Almighty God. But again, more for the kind of videos that we are watching, I think we all now we got to talk about the security of our country. Like many of our callers are saying from the from outside of Liberia that they are talking about the safety of our country. I think this is serious. That our president should also look into the security of our country, because if this things going on between lawmakers and police officers, Monk, let's put everything aside and let's look at this in 30 seconds. If this is happening between police officer and lawmaker, what do you think, Monk?
Yeah, and these are the people that supposed to be setting the agenda for the country, right? You see them happy, the one that so provide security, and the people who supposed to be setting the agenda for the country. That's why I keep telling you, I keep saying on the show, this whole idea that there are three equal branches of government, I said that's a lie. One branch is given more power by the Constitution, and those guys that you see fighting out in the bunch of case, these guys are the ones that are giving them more power, but they don't understand their own power. So at the end of the day, the country will always be the victim. And the surprising thing that the people who are the victim, they don't take into consideration their own victimization. For them, they talk about Constitution. Okay, keep trying to interpret the Constitution at the end of the day. Well, that's why I keep telling you, we are 2 days away. I mean, tomorrow, right? Tomorrow is the big day, right? It will be worse than today. And Thursday will get worse. And maybe people will leave. Just observe the other group, those senators. I got to them aside. At the end of the day, we saw their information on the agenda of the majority black. They will always do business.
More quickly, are you saying that similar thing like this will happen at the upper house?
Oh, there's a potential. I mean, there's a potential for that. If the executive is already doing business with the people with the number, who you think the people in the upper chamber are going to work with most likely?
No, I'm talking about the removal, Saka, removing and replacing.
But that would be the procedure until you can find a way to stop this nonsense. That's why we keep telling you there are ways to do it. Why you want to let it reach a tipping point? Why? For 17 who years?
Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. Good night, Mark. Good night. We'll catch you.
Take care, man.
Thanks to Sekou Kane. Thanks to all of you, all of our viewers and listeners. Thanks to all of you, those of you who call in. Thank you so much also for your participation. Thanks to the head of radio and programs, Oniosuma Ravas. Thanks to the head of the good institution like Ability, the CEO. Thanks to all of you. Good night, folks. We are going home peacefully because we're not looking at things. We got to be very, very careful now, because if you see lawmakers have been in that kind of scuffles with police officers, then that'll tell you that we got to be very, very careful out there as you go about with anything that you want to do. But Mr. President, please pay attention to the rule of law. Thank you so much and good night.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from getting up out of the club. Police are people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the effort are rest. The brothers giving the care, the parents of them. So welcome and life with African.
I live with my health.
Master.
Les paris sont avec you, I can't ask you to be you. C'est ma chenille, tina ke ase ma yamu. Engi sano muni, emu aye yo. Engi lofa mui, emu aye yo.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Muscle rather lofa and grandbaza.
Ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Sadia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Côte d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Guinea ya tumale, ena Sadia ya tumale, ena Conakry ya tumale, ena Côte d'Ivoire ya tumale, ena Napagiyarina ya tumale, Sktv, ena Napagiyarina, Tosi Wakama ya tumale.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa. Sktv, the best in Mama Liberia. Muscle rather lopa and grandbaza.
can do. We bringing good news and we give it to you. We talking about podcasts and connecting people and culture from here and I'm part of the club. For the top people who waiting to sell. The flesh, the time and the efforts are rare. The broadcast we giving are real and I promise my best. To work with my life without fear. From Grandpa to Nima to Lufa, from Riverside, River G to Chile, from Grand Crew, Bombing, Cape Mount, Montserrat, Sano to Backwalu, from Maryland, Bonkan to the Mikey B. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB. We the best in the land, yeah, LIB.
Sktv, the best in Liberia. Sktv, the best in Africa.